How's everyone going? Just finishing up a day up here doing some stuff, so yeah, I thought I'd do a bit more of an in-depth walk around of this thing I bought the other week. What do I know about it? It's supposedly an E27N, 1945. He reckons. I think it's later, judging by the exhaust manifold and stuff. Said it had it running a couple of years ago. Well, I think he said a year ago from memory, but that could have been a couple. It could have been, 5 years ago. We don't really know. What do I know about it? Well, as far as I can tell, it's got the wrong wheels on the back of it. It's got later E1A wheels, but I don't know. Did these come out with the same wheels as an E1A for the last of them, maybe? I don't know. I'm not a big expert on E27Ns. It does have the right front wheels for an E27N, and they're actually quite good, and the tyres aren't even that bad, really, in the big scheme of things. But anyway, so my idea, I was going to rob the wheels off the back of it and see if I can find some better ones. Well, not better ones, but period correct wheels. Yes, I suppose we'll just have a bit of a look at it. With what little light we have left today. So yeah, take this off. Manifold, as I said before, was pretty pooched, but I think it's on the heated jacket, so I might still be able to use it. It appears there's a bit of silicone around there, but I think that's a broken off exhaust. So you probably can't see down in there, but I might be able to get a screwdriver down the side and prise that out so I can get something in there. I'll put that back on because I'll forget about it. So the good things is there is a magneto on it. It's a Lucas magneto, apparently. I don't know much about magnetos. This is the first actual, well, no, this is the first magneto I've ever owned. The Caterpillar engine's supposed to have one, but it's gone. Everything seems to sort of work and move and do the things it should. The one thing I did notice, there is slop in the crank pulley. I don't know how they held on, but yeah, that might be a job for another day to work out. And I'm assuming handbrake, throttle, that's so you can retard the timing, choke, all of which seem to do the things they're supposed to. I don't know about the handbrake, I don't know if that works or not. It's missing the foot plate off the side there, because apparently this was a loader. So that's why that was missing. That's probably why there's slop in the crankshaft there, or in the balancer on the front of the crank, because they probably chopped out from running a pump on it. And that's why it has no grille, no headlights. That all would have been gone for that. Tyres are past average. They hold air, that's about all I can say about them. See, it's got no PTO. It does have a really nice drawbar though. That is not wallowed out at all. But it wouldn't have done any drawbar work if it was a loader. All she would have done is push dirt around. So it might have, the back end might be pretty worn in it, because that tends to be the company loader tractors. The tyres, real howdy doody. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to show you. What's that? N7P. So that should be a casting code. That should give us an idea of what sort of vintage this thing is. Oh, it just says Fordson. Oh, here we go. What's that? F7S? N7, F7. Oh, okay. I have to work all that out. see what the go is. But yeah, there is oil in it, and it's, you know, a lot better than some of the other machines I've seen. Get in there. Gear stick seems to be there. I'm short out my depth. I don't know much about these. It's got a later like Bakelite steering wheel on it. It's also fairly sloppy in there. I do have an aluminium one. Now there is a tag here. So I'll try and get you down there so you can have a look. So there is an engine number, 11816008, I think it says. So does that mean there's a number stamped here somewhere? Radiator looks like it's seen, you know, had a few hot suppers. Still has the fuel tap, which is nice. Bit of a ding and a repair there. I haven't managed to get the tank open. I've got to, you know, put something on there. She's a bit tight. So I hope that glare's not too bad. That sun's just about to disappear. I think these are a factory idea. They updated them to a pressurised system at some point, which makes me think it's a later tractor. Well, that's a later bit, whichever or. They did put a nice big gusset on the front axle there, and it has been broken. The wishbone's been broken there. It does steer in a fashion. It's pretty heavy. I assume, yeah, they would have had a hydraulic pump of some description on here and a big guard. There's a bit of repair there on the radiator, lower tank. I haven't tried putting any fluid in it. Oh, there's also, someone's also had a go at her there. Handy. So, I don't know. Those tyres are pretty, just looking at now in the right light, they're pretty cracked. But yeah, she's all there. Well, mostly all there. I need an air cleaner pipe, better manifold, radiator grill, or guard, or whatever you want to call it. And I think there is supposed to be a electrical box of some description on the up on the steering column there. So that's gone. But while we're here, this battery's pretty much pooched. But we'll go around here. They've got a car solenoid. Look at that. So obviously they were just grabbing a hold of the end and pulling it in and out to sort of actuate it. But if I bring that up there, if you can see, I'll touch that on there without arcing the other side on the other terminal. I'll get that lined up. It's really hard to try and do two things at once. So yes, it does roll over. That battery's not real good, but yeah, that was the big thing. I thought it's probably full of water and yeah, locked up, but no, it does roll over. What else is there to say about it? Not a lot. You know, your average rough E27N, besides the engine being loose, this is that tractor. Trying to get out of that glare a little bit. So yeah, if the motor runs good, she'll hang around. I might have a lead on some other wheels for it, maybe. But I'm not buying wheels and spending money if the motor's absolutely flogged out of it. I don't know much about these engines, but I'd assume from what I've seen online, rebuilding them might be a little bit costly. But yeah, I don't want to invest thousands of dollars in this thing and make it, you know, really nice, because I'm not really that fussed on E27Ns, but it'd be nice to have here, tank around the paddock in, you know. I'll probably, if it's okay, what I'll probably do is I'll probably just find the missing bits, make it a complete unit, try and make it, you know, maybe worth something, so it actually runs, drives and operates and does what it should. And later on down the track, well, we might throw a lick of paint on it, make it nice. And the problem with these things, I've seen some of these like beautifully restored, really nicely done, and you just can't sell them. No one wants them. That's half the reason why I ended up with this one, because it just, you know, it was a few $1,000s. That's what it was listed for, and I got it for less than half that. And still, I was, you know, it was a bit more than what I really wanted to spend, so I'm not into it for much, but it's not, yeah, it's one of those things, not really worth much. But it'll be cool to tank around the paddock and, you know, have a bit of fun with. If I can find some bits, I wouldn't mind to maybe get a 3-point on it and a PTO set up, so the actual, you know, the tractor's useful, I suppose you'd say. At the moment, this thing's not much use to anyone. You used to see a lot of these old things around here, well, not in these parts, but around the coast. They used to keep them for boat launches at shacks and stuff like that. So they'd go to their shack and they tucked behind the shack would be an old tractor, usually just a drawbar only thing or whatever they'd get their hands on, and they'd hook their boat up to it and have like restricted registration on them and drive them down to the boat ramp. And yeah, you go around some of the little shacky areas that are still like predominantly shacks, you'll see a few, not so much of these things, but like old David Browns and stuff like that, like real early David Browns. This sort of vintage, like where there's no hydraulics and nothing on them, so they're no good for no one. Yeah, you'd sort of see those sorts of things floating around. Just noticed a tag over there. Me getting sidetracked here. Yeah, let's see if we can. Well, I can't see nothing on it, so I don't know if you guys are going to be able to. And I only just realised, after buying this thing, the clutch and brake pedal are around the opposite way. We literally got pulled up at the servo, we pumped the tyres up and stuff on it, and the guy, someone at the servo, turned around and said, oh, you'll take a bit to get used to the pedals on it, and I had no idea what he was talking about. And then I looked at him, oh, okay, yeah, they're around the opposite way. Let's have a look. Is there any oil in the back end? There he is. Okay. And none of it seems to be milky. Oop, I think I screwed that up. Get back in there. There's just a bit of flat bar just folded over. Like there's no little cup or nothing on these. Compared to the later ones, it's just a little bit of whatever. Rims and tyres. Oh, the rims are a bit scaly, as you can see, but you know they'd work. Not as good as I was hoping, but you know, you give them a coat of paint and they'd sort of, you know, they'd be okay. What size tyres have we got? They're Olympic, Trojan, somethings. Now you can see them on the other side, I think. Yeah, 18.4 28s. Don't know if you can read that or not. But yeah, another one, Olympic Trojan. So they, yeah, I don't know how old those tyres would be, but yeah, they'd be awfully old. Yeah, that's about it, really. That's the E27N. So it's got oil in it, that's good. There is no antifreeze or coolant or water that I can see on the top of the radiator. So we'll see how that goes. I'll put some fluid in at some point and see where it all leaks out, because no doubt it'll leak like sieve. But yeah, So in time, I'll definitely want to see if this thing will go. I don't know about the magneto because it's been out in the weather for a long time. I've never delved into them. Oh, that's interesting. So that's obviously... So when you push forward... No, when you pull back... Oh, okay, so when you forcibly idle it down, that's like, must be like a safety, so it pulls the throttle back, no matter if the governor wants it to be at high speed or not. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm still learning about these things, because it's the first one I've seen a couple at shows and, you know, that sort of stuff. I've never actually fitted with one. So I don't know much about operating one. I'm pretty sure, yeah, the timing and advance and retard, like, I think that's for cold starting with the crank handle. I don't know if you have to worry about that with electric start. I don't know. I'm assuming it probably doesn't matter that much, because I think it was mainly to stop kickback, so the thing wouldn't kick back, and then you could crank the ignition on, crank more timing into it, advance it up when it was running. That's probably also to do with the low grade fuels and stuff like that. So this is a bit of a bygone thing over here. The old petrol, kero, distillate, TVO, whatever you want to call it, type stuff, like, they all disappeared in the early 50s pretty much. Some of the E1As over here, well, there's a fair few petrol ones, but the actual dual fuel ones, they were all gone in the real early 50s. Even like petrol ones, I think we got a lot of them because the POMs didn't want them anymore. They all wanted diesels, so I think they sent a lot of them out here. But that's really, yeah, I wouldn't mind one of them, TVO E1A. I think I mentioned it a few times, but... Well, this will be a good introduction to TVO tractors for me. Be able to play with this a bit, and... I don't know if any of this, like, carburetor setup is the same as E1A petrols, or... Because I'm pretty sure it is a factory carb. It says Ford British made on it. So... I'd assume that's the factory carb. I wouldn't have a clue. I don't know anything about these. Yeah, the guards are nice. A few little iffy bits, like I think there's a few daggy holes there from where they've had something screwed to them, but they are quite nice. Yeah, that one's had a bit of a hot supper there at some point, but yeah, all things considered, they're not too bad. So I just need another foot plate, or probably a pair. I think that one's been trimmed a bit, but that'd be nice, foot plates and whatnot for it. I don't know if this, so looking down here, there's an awful big pivot point there for something. I don't know what that is or entails, but I'm wondering whether or not that's beefed up for something. Don't know. I don't know what a E27N drawbar is supposed to look like. Brake pedals, you know, they've still got a bit of checking left on them. They're not really sharp. Same with the clutch, so I don't think it's done mega hours. I assume you can get a tacho on some of these that records hours. I don't know. The old steering wheel seem better those. It's not tight on the spline though. I don't know if that nut's going to come undone, but yeah, I'm sort of just having a bit of a look myself, because we pretty much dumped this. I did a quick walk around and then we left. So today's been the first day where I've had to sort of look at it. I never dared press the brake pedal when we got it, just in case the brakes locked on and stayed on. I'm sort of still iffy about playing with that. But yeah, it's very interesting. It's got like a ratchet on the throttle, so you pull it out and it ratchets over as it sort of goes up, and you lift it up to let it go. It's very interesting, like looking at all these things, like when you think that the new Major I got up there, that these aren't very different in years, and that's light years ahead of this thing. But reading up on these, that seems to be what these were just like a fill-in tractor. They took the engine out of the previous tractor, used the back transmission, or most of the transmission, gearbox, whatever, out of the new one they were developing, and made like an interim tractor just to fill the void in the market. And that's why a few things like the front, I think those wishbones are actually completely interchangeable with E1As, I think. I'm not 100% on that, but I think they are interchangeable. And you can tell the back end's very similar. So you get another, well, here you get another look at that big bar work. I don't think that's factory. I reckon that's part of the loader. Would have been interesting to see with a loader. Oh, you can see they've notched that there for something. Very simple tractor though. It isn't a lot of well, a lot of sort of stuff to it. It's very very simplistic. I wonder what H is supposed to mean. But even like that top cover, that's nearly exactly the same as the Power Major loader top cover I've got. Like nearly just to the T, exactly the same. Let's see, there's like a rock or something down in there. Yeah. I don't know, I'm just looking. There's obviously something, it's a bit of a witness mark there, there would have been something there. I don't know if that step's original. It is nice though, being able to get on the back of the tractor, just climb up really easily compared to having lift arms and stuff there. Yeah, I think that's about all to be said with this thing. I really don't know about much. Like, yeah, I don't know much about these things. I'm assuming that clutch works. No, sorry, that's the brake. No, clutch. Yes, clutch. Yeah, because it pivots on the brake shaft. Yep. Okay. Maybe I don't know. That's the handbrake. Does that? It might have a transmission handbrake. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just trying. Oh, don't mind me. I'm just looking, trying to work stuff out. Like, yeah, I don't know with these things. I'm just trying to work out like what's this? What's this for? Is that just like to stop you from accidentally applying the handbrake? I don't know. I really don't know. There's pretty cool sort of things like, you know, petrol. What does it say? Petrol for starting only. And the old Major across there. That's one thing I did really like about these. The big yellow Major across the bonnet. Across the tank, I should say. I still see there's blue on the bottom of the tank. I think it's solid. I don't know. There's a bit of a couple of suspect spots there and there. Right, no. In reality, I'm assuming there's a baffle there. Probably even up there. If that little tank was solid, that's all I need, because it's not going far. I wouldn't need the big low-grade fuel tank up in the front. There is one of these tanks for sale though that looks really good, but it's on the mainland, and it's a diesel one. Like, it only has the single filler, so I'm assuming that's from a P6 Perkins one. So Yeah, that'd be nice. It's very cheap too, but it's a long way away. Oh, I better wrap this up now. So if you want to see more of this decrepit old thing, sad old tractor, yeah, let us know. I'll tinker with it a bit more, you know, get it going. I don't know really sort of how far I'll go. Okay, that's a light for light wiring, I reckon, for the headlights. Anyway, just being getting distracted. So yeah, I'll have a good crack at getting it going. That'll make a good video. No, I might like it'll probably just start and it'll be boring as hell. Yeah, it's essentially the way it goes. Either start or they're bloody, then they'd never go and start. So anyway, I'm rambling, so I'll get out of here. All right, you have fun, you lot. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.